Alright, boys and girls, welcome back to the Mike Papa Millsrip channel. Today we've got my favorite plinking gun, which still has, oh this is so me, still has the auction tag string on it for some reason. This is, I don't know if this is a Bannerman special. I don't really know how to look for this kind of stuff. Usually you'd have a number on the lock plate that would tell you what's going on here. Like I said, it's probably a Bannerman. If you don't know the history about that, I think Koba has a really good video series on those. But this is obviously a 1873, more likely 1884, because it has the famous Buffington adjustable rear sight, which is a fantastic adjustable sight. And this is basically a 1860s Springfield with a trapdoor cut in the breech. It used to be a muzzle stuffer, which obviously these guns were made brand new, but they're originally in 50-70. And you see this one basically has no finish left on it, which is why I have it. Way cheaper that way. I'm not going to pay $1,500 for it. I can't remember the company name, I'll put it up in the video right now. Just like every other gun in the time, they were usually 0 for 300 meters, which is why nobody actually shot each other. Everyone died from artillery. So I got a taller front sight so I can actually hit something at 50 and 100 yards. But yeah, pretty cool piece of history here. I love shooting these because I have smokeless powder reloads that are very low recoil and don't hurt the gun at all, and actually polish this bore. If I remember, I'll put a picture of the bore on here. We got some proof marking here. I don't necessarily know what any of that means, but it's a thing. I can't remember if I took this gun out of the stock or not. I imagine I would have, and probably would have gotten all the moisture out of it. U with the barrel band. Here's a good look at the Buffington rear sight. This is a very interesting target style sight. Buffington sounds very British, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was a British bloke. You can see it actually flips up. And use the V-notch, or this little V-notch, like so. And you can see I've got it drifted quite a bit to the left. When I put the smokeless powder loads in my 1873 that doesn't have the adjustable rear sight, it was hitting like 2 to 3 inches right at a mere 50 yards. So thankfully I have this one as well. I can actually hit something with it, but you can see it's drifted way off to the left. I don't know if they're not spin stabilizing and they're going off to the right because of that. Not really sure. But this thing has a spiker bayonet. Hit this button, bayonet comes out. Not very effective, very flimsy, bends pretty easy. See, there's a release on that side too. But pretty cool gun. Like I said, this is like my favorite thing to plink with. It's like a 400 grain bullet going maybe 1,000 feet per second. So there's the trapdoor of the trapdoor. It's probably rusted shut. Oh hey, anybody home? Nope, she empty. Yeah, it's a beat up old gun, but she still shoots. So let's go take a look at the ammo we'll be shooting today. So these are the exact same loads that I shot a year and a half, 2 years ago. They've just been sitting. Looks like we've got 9 grains of universal, 10 grains of universal, and 10 grains of unique mixed in here. So the V's, so what we're going to start with, that's 9 grains of universal, and I can't remember if I cronied these or not, but I imagine they're probably going 900 feet per second, but we'll see. Try it out 50 yards. See if the chronograph wants to work today. .930. .70 feet per second. Yeah, this chronograph's killing it today. Guess we'll just have to go out to one of the bays and mess with that chronograph. .919, so yeah, 900 feet per second, subsonic. All those grouped. I was aiming at the very bottom of the red stem on the leftmost target, and they're looks like they're grouping in there. Well, that's just a giant piece of tape. I'll leave you guys zoomed in for this next group. Looks like we're still hitting a little bit right. No, we're in the diamond. Okay, I can see him now. Yeah, we're hitting dead center. I was aimed at the very bottom of that stem. I'll keep stacking them in there. .960. .935, so about 950 feet a second. Hopefully you guys saw some of that. Oh, we're hitting the bottom of the paper. Okay. Well, that's point of aim, point of impact at 50. That's pretty cool. See how it does at a hundo. Aim at the bottom third of these steels. Right. Same spot. And now I'm hitting left. Guess that one's just not meant to be. That's cool. Next load we've got is 10 grains of universal pistol powder, which I don't even know if they import into the country anymore. I think this is one of the Australian loads that isn't imported anymore. I'm going to aim dead center on the second target this time. 2,500 feet per second. Yeah, I doubt that. Good job, chronograph. Maybe the gas is going that fast, not the projectile. $1640. I don't think it's going that fast either. There you go, 1063. That one's almost supersonic. I think I shot the center under this target. Send a couple more. See if you guys can pick them up. 1037. $10.26. And 1024. About 10-30 feet per second on these guys. The problem with this is I don't think these bullets are very stable past 50 yards, which I think we're proving at 100, but let's see how she does. Not bad. Let's see if we can't take a look at this very, very faint cartouche. I think it says 1891. Yeah. So this may very well be an all original late model 1884. I just noticed these termite holes. Of course, the stock has tons of scratches from being transported over the last 150 years or whatever. Got some nicks, dings, and scratches all up this thing. But it's more on easy, which is why the government adopted this. It's way easier than a muzzle stuffer. The real doctrine was to do a half cock. There you go. Lift the lever. And you just kind of take a cartridge and shove it in there. Once the gun goes bang, you got an ejector that actually kicks out the round. That's my favorite part. I just don't want this brass to hit the ground because this brass is like 80 cents a piece. These are 405 grain Bear Creek bullets. I don't know if that feller's still in business. His website's still up. I sent him an email because I want to get more of these because they shoot well. I'd like to cast my own out of soft lead because this is not really getting the velocity to make these obturate quite right, as we'll probably see on the paper once we look at it up close. But for being a range toy that I can hit at 100 yards if I actually, you know, modify my point of aim and do my job right, it works pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty neat gun. So our next and final load, we have 10 grains of unique. Let's see how that shoots at 50. All right. Hopefully this is one of these three is going to be a good enough load to shoot at 50 for the rest of my life because I love this thing. All right. $10.50, which is basically the velocity I don't want to exceed. 1100 maybe, but once you go supersonic, I'm not really interested in pushing this real hard. $10.20. $1,008. Whee! Whee! $1,013. 1,035. It's the same thing as the last one, about 1030 feet per second. Universal and unique seem to be about the same. See how these do at 100. I could probably use pistol primers for these if I had to. But large rifle primers are much easier to find now than they were in COVID. Maybe you should aim higher, Mike. Yeah, I probably should. What a novel concept. Only took me 10 rounds to figure that out. That's cool. Love that sound. Right. See, I'm still hitting a little bit right, but not too bad. It's a really cool piece of history. Love this thing. Let's go see how she did at 50. I don't really know how these stack up on the powder burn rate chart, but I know they're pretty much all faster than tight group. I'd like to use tight group for this, but I don't think I can use more than 8 grains and it's not going to be going very fast. First group, all of them stabilized. Second group, probably all of them stabilized. That looks like 3 holes stacked on top of each other. And last group, all of them stabilized, and they're all hitting point of aim. That's pretty cool. I like that. Well, you go. There's a Trapdoor. Bear Creek Bullets doing a great job. I can't believe that's like a 2-inch group at 50. That's for a 150-year-old gun. I will take it. Thanks for watching, guys. That was a lot of fun. I love that gun.